In question 55, we're given a graph and told that it shows the lactic acid concentration of blood in the case of 2 students at rest, then followed by 15 minutes of exercise, then followed by rest again, and then we're asked to assess whether 3 statements are true or false. So before we get to the statements, let's have a quick look at what we're looking at. We can see that we have 2 students, both of which increase their lactic acid concentration as exercise begins, presumably in response to an increase in anaerobic respiration, which does not require oxygen and therefore generates lactic acid. And then following rest, then the lactic acid concentration begins to dip as the oxygen debt is recovered. As we can see, student Q largely returns to his pre-exercise levels, whereas student P doesn't get as far. Okay, let's have a look at the statements. The first statement is that student P's oxygen debt is repaid faster. Well, as we can see just by a cursory look at the diagram, it does not appear as though student P is any faster than student C at returning to his rest level of lactic acid. In fact, as you can see, by a comparable amount, student P and student Q's lactic acid levels drop at the end of exercise, so this is false. Moving on to point 2, student P has a lower oxygen debt. Well, this is clearly not true, since lactic acid correlates to oxygen debt, since it is an anaerobic process which requires oxygen in order to recover. So we can say this is also false. And point 3, student P has a higher level of fitness. Well, we can say that this is probably not true, given that it takes them longer to ultimately recover from exercise and repay their oxygen debt, and the fact they had to resort to anaerobic respiration for an exercise which student Q can manage with aerobic respiration. So we can say this is also false. This is not something we can at least estimate from the diagram, and we can say our answer is that all 3 are wrong, therefore the answer is A.